A number of years ago, a Catholic prayer group was planning their upcoming meetings. They were a very enthusiastic and involved prayer group, and one of the members of the group was a retired priest. As Christmas was approaching, they talked about the possibility of having their own Christmas Mass. They had a priest who could preside, and it would be a wonderful way to gather together in celebration of Christ's birth. Many of the members of the prayer group thought this was a great idea, until Tony spoke up. Tony was a very congenial and involved member of the prayer group. He was always at the meetings and was a great one for greeting others and making them feel welcome. So they were quite surprised when he spoke up and said, "You can have your own Christmas Mass if you want to, but I won't be there." He then explained, "When I go to Christmas Mass in my parish, I know that the people sitting on either side of me won't have been there since last Easter. They won't know when to sit or stand or kneel, or what hymnal to use, or how to give the sign of peace. They're going to feel awkward and unsure of what to do, and if I'm not there to help them, by the time Mass is done, they'll be thinking, 'Thank God that's over.' They need me to be there to show them what to do, when to do it, and at the sign of peace to turn to them with a big smile, tell them how glad I am that they are there, and wish them a very Merry Christmas." Tony concluded his explanation, "Those people sitting beside me in my church at Christmas are members of my parish family. They have come home for the holidays. They need me to be there to greet them, to make them welcome, and to help them feel that they are home and it is a good place to be." Isn't that a wonderful attitude and a wonderful explanation of how we are called as people of faith to liturgically celebrate Christmas together? I think we've all heard the song, "I'll Be Home for Christmas." And a lot of people really do want to come home spiritually at this special time of the year. Some of them will come on their own, but they will be unsure of themselves, of their welcome, and of what to do. They need all of us to be like Tony, happily anticipating their presence, joyfully welcoming them, and enthusiastically celebrating with them God's love come among us. Others would like to come, but they will never make it on their own. They don't know when to come, what to do when they get there, or even if they will be allowed to join us. In some ways, they are like Mary and Joseph on the first Christmas, in that they feel they are strangers and they do not know where to get a room. They need us, their friends, their neighbors, their co-workers, to invite them to come with us to the feast. Only in this way will they feel welcomed and able to come. I once had a couple share with me the story of their first Christmas together. They were dating at the time, and he invited her to come with him to midnight Mass. To him, it was a pretty normal Christmas Mass, and so he was shocked to see her crying as they left the church. When he asked her the reason for her tears, she turned to him and said, "Now I know you'll never marry me." This response left him more perplexed than ever. Eventually, she was able to explain that she had never been to a Christmas Mass before, and that she had been so overwhelmed by the beauty and power of the liturgy that she felt she was not worthy to be in a relationship with someone for whom this was a usual and ordinary part of his life. He did marry her, and now for them and their 3 children, Christmas Mass is both a beautiful and powerful part of their spirituality, as well as a normal and ordinary part of their spiritual life. This man's name is not Tony, but he was the Tony who welcomed her home to a faith and sense of belonging she had never before experienced, but for which she had always yearned. God works through Tonys and boyfriends in welcoming people home for Christmas, and He wants to work through you and me. Please take a little time to ask God how He might be wanting you to be His instrument in helping someone to come home and be at home in our church this Christmas.